Welcome to Fashion Show Reaction with Facial Recognition, where we react to fashion show videos, but with a twist. We apply facial recognition technology so that we can identify the models.
For our fifth episode, we are going to react to Giambattista Valli's Fall and Winter Couture collection for 2024 and 2025.
Are you ready? Here we go.
While this show has some traditional dresses, it is really out there, presenting looks that we are not sure where you would wear them, including looks like this first one.
I'm thinking this is what a 1940s movie star would have worn to a pool party at the Beverly Hills Hotel in 1949. As we identify a model, they will be freeze-framed and their name will show in the roster on the left. You will see as we go through the show that the software sometimes fails in a couple of different ways. Sometimes misidentifies a face in the crowd, and sometimes misidentifies the face of a model. When this happens, we step in and do a manual human-driven override.
I think we can attribute the need for that first override to the veil which obscured her face. We are continuing with a kind of a swimsuit, but never going to get wet theme for these early outfits.
The presence of veils is confusing in what feels like a poolside context.
If you think about it, a veil could protect your skin from the sun, but I really think this is foreshadowing the pseudo-Middle Eastern feel of the collection.
Facial recognition software looks at each of the 30 frames in a second of video and treats them as individual pictures. This is what makes the identifications kind of flicker.
If you have been paying attention, you will note that this is the first not monochromatic look.
See how the computer does with another veil.
I have 3 unidentifiable models in this show. If you know who any of them are, please let us know in the comments.
Unfortunately, we have a miss from the computer, but even after research, we cannot figure out the identity of this model. It appears she was a late add to the show and did not make it into the training data, as that veil is transparent enough to easily see through.
And note how even though we have switched to a traditional gown format, the models are still wearing flat sandals.
Look, we finally have something that feels normal. Oh no, Giambattista is now taking us to the planet Tatooine, the home of Anakin and Luke Skywalker.
I think the goal is here.
She wants to remove the traditional Western concepts of female beauty from the model to get us to focus on the clothes. Okay, here we go. Still in a monochromatic theme, which you know I love. Not only a normal, beautiful dress, but also our best look of the show.
Look at this monochromatic, turmeric-inspired piece.
Pandering to put a model that is presumably of subcontinent heritage in a curry-colored look?
Don't read too much into this gorgeous outfit. We mentioned earlier that the models are wearing flat shoes, but like many of the 2024 couture shows, some of the dresses here are too long and cause the models problems walking. Faya is really fighting with this dress.
Ever the professional. Other than a blink, she never breaks her model face as she fights this dress down the aisle.
Women are professionals for sure. Ooh, I like this sudden turn to black after more muted colors to start the show.
We are going to slow this down to half speed as the computer embarrasses itself by piling on the misidentifications here. It finally nails Aker, but makes a mess on its way there. And then for good measure, the software decides to pick a face out of the crowd after she makes her turn and make a bunch more misidentifications.
We are going back to the glamour beach. These little things stuck on the models. They look like they might be flower petals.
Remind me of the little dots they stick on actors to guide computer-generate image creation. Unfortunately, they did not guide us, and we have our second unknown model of the show.
We mentioned earlier that we thought this show, including its music, gave a pseudo-Middle Eastern vibe. And I have to say that looks like this outfit, which is our honorable mention of the show, provides a completely thought-out couture solution to a woman who might need to wear a moderate headscarf.
The color is very nice.
If you are enjoying applying facial recognition technology to a fashion show, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Viewers know that couture shows traditionally end with a wedding dress, but we are midway here and I am not sure if this is a wedding dress.
Fortunately, with the veil we had to step in and provide manual identification. And out of nowhere we return to Tatooine, and this time with a fancy gown. But this time we're going to slow the video down and again show some pathetic misidentifications by the computer. It finally gets G, but has trouble doing so. Karen Westerlund did the makeup for this show, so perhaps it is not all Giambattista's fault.
Back to an interesting look with an elegant, flowing feel. Notice that we have now switched out of flats and the models are wearing heels. The computer struggles but finally makes an identification of Elon. I really like these pants. The bodice not so much, but the pants and their ornamentation are great.
Sometimes I just have to agree to disagree, as I do not like this outfit at all. Pants and everything. Plus, we had to step in and do a manual identification here. Well, here's a surprise. Even with a difficult veil, the computer grabs an identification if when sheen. Then notice that while it flip-flops a few times with her sister Lexi, it does a good job of distinguishing Lainey once it gets a closer shot of her face. I'll let you pick this time, but I think I might have picked this as the best look of the show, as I like the transparent treatment of the shoulders and neckline.
It is a device we have not seen in this season of Couture. Unfortunately, we have another trip in the show. While it is the same rich red color, and the skirt is fantastic, this next look is not nearly as pleasing with all the busyness by the neckline.
Divine was a great choice for this look, as the pink looks wonderful against her skin tone. This is a very elegant look that makes you kind of forget the poolside where that opened the show. But then we go from absolute elegant to rufflemania in this next look.
We have Big Bird later in the show, but I wonder what Muppet this is. And while it is not blue, we again see overdone, monotone makeup. At least we slide right back into standard couture, but I cannot figure out the train here. It looks like Masha is holding up two separate pieces.
What happens if the wearer of this dress has to scratch her nose? Do those two pieces fall down and drag on the ground? We should also note that Pier Paolo Lai did the hair for this show, and you can see some detail as Masha turns. This next pale green look is very nice, but the veil fooled the computer, and we had to step in and do a manual identification. This deep purple color might be tied with the earlier turmeric-colored outfit for the best color of the show. They are both bold, but not gaudy.
I think you could combine the two colors into a blockbuster mix. Remember we foreshadowed earlier that Big Bird was in the show? Well, it's time. We do not like feathers in general, and this makeup in particular, so this look is a big skip for us.
At least the computer does a good job through the makeup. Okay, I'll let you pick best look of the show, but I would have picked this one.
I think you just like Valerie's plunging neckline, which looks like the gown is about to fall off of her.
1 second. Does Big Bird have a cousin who speaks Spanish? This look is all over the place. They have Hojing looking like she is going to a fiesta grande to spin La Noche away.
The tailoring and structure are impressive, but this is out of left field after we were thinking we were in the Middle East somewhere.
The Moors did invade Spain after all. Then Freya completes the show with a second look that feels to us like it has a Latin flair. Let's see how the computer does during the parade. Poor Freya is still fighting with that dress. We will freeze frame here for a nice triple identification. Let us know if you enjoyed applying facial recognition to a fashion show.
Bye now.
See you next episode.